Our traders already now. So my only current position as of now is going to be, as you can see right here, my short position. I'm still short on PROG stock. Now, with that being said, I am looking for more opportunities. If you guys watched my video from, yesterday, you're well aware my top three stocks. We have AUR and we have Alibaba and we have BBIG. So I currently have no positions in these. I'm waiting, for bullish confirmation. They're currently at very attractive, buying levels, great deals, buying zones. I'm very interested in buying them. But I haven't seen that bullish confirmation just yet. So those are going to be my top three swings that are on my radar. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I make any, new day trades, any new swing trades. But yeah, I'm mainly just focused on, PROG. That's where the vast majority is tied up in, this particular position. And it does look like we are going to be getting that gap fill, like I said, to 287. If not this week, then next week. I see this stock going to 287. So we'll see how this plays out. I mean, so far so good. I'm currently up, let's see. So I'm currently up 30% on the 31% on the short position. I'm just riding this out from 488, going to continue to hold that. I did end up covering, a little bit over 5.5k shares on Friday in the 350s from 490, so that was good. But yeah, so far things are working out very, very well on this short position. So let's go over some of the biggest gainers. Let's see if there's any new trading opportunities. I was looking at this one earlier. I was very interested in actually, shorting this particular stock, KRYS. Let's take a look at the pre-market. I believe it had a double top in the pre-market. Let's see. So yeah, we had like a triple top basically towards your 104 area. You have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, starting to break down. This looks extremely bearish. Man, the calls must be up a fortune. Yeah, the calls are currently up. Wow, they should be up a lot more than that. But the calls are currently up 300 to 500%. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm not really interested in doing anything with this one right now. This one's going to be interesting. ADGI. We'll set some price alerts, see how it reacts once it reopens up, from its trading halt. This looks different. They must have had an update with the price alerts or something. Wow, guys, PROG is getting absolutely annihilated. Now sitting at 330. Currently up 32% on the short position, still riding this one out. So, like I said, I'll be interested in potentially buying after we get a bullish confirmation once this hits, 297. That's where the gap's waiting to fill at 297. All right, so PTPI. So PTPI is approaching some major resistance here in the pre-market from the 440s, currently pulling back. This one, I think overall it's bearish. I'm not really interested in trading this one though, so I'm not gonna, be focused on it. Let's see. NXRP. All right, guys, you can let me know in the live chat in the comments what stocks you guys are looking at, what trades you're in. I'll take a look. Wow, PRG looks so bearish. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at BBIG. It's doing the same thing. Guys, check this out. It's doing the same thing. So BBIG is doing the same thing as PROG. This is pretty interesting here. So let's take a look at the two. All right, so see how. Okay, hold up. This price alert just triggered. Let's see. We have a gap fill of 42. Okay, let's see. Let's see. This one's going to be a little interesting. Yeah, this is pretty bearish. ADGI. This looks pretty bearish here. Let's see. All right, so HTHT. So it gapped up today. Yeah, I mean, there's really. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll head back up towards like $44 a share within some time for this one. ADGI pro gap fill at $1. Yeah, it's just I can't hold it that long. Plus, this will probably spike at like around the 280s. This is probably about to rip up to like 360. But yeah, if you look, they're both doing the same thing. All right, so PROG stock, it gaps down from 375. It spikes back up, it fills the gap. Once it fills that gap, it has a reversal, starts to go back down, and then it continues to crash. BBIG is the same pattern. It's doing the same exact thing. BBIG gaps down, spikes back up, starts to fill the gap. Now it's climbing back down. So it's not a buy just yet. And, also the gap hasn't filled yet. The gap is waiting to fill at 293, and there's still not a bullish confirmation yet. The lowest it's gotten to recently was 295. So it still hasn't filled the gap yet. Alibaba is interesting right now. You have a lot of support at this 130 level, and it's still trying to hold up. So Alibaba's looking pretty interesting here. Let's see. They're gonna run this back up. Let's see. Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. It's tough to see if Alibaba is really bottomed here or not. I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on that though. So ADGI holds it again. Yeah, when you see these stocks getting halted multiple times, that's when you got to be extremely careful in terms of trading them. They can go either way very, very quickly. But overall, they'll typically come back to fill these gaps pretty quickly. If not the same day, then the same week. But yeah, it looks like PROG is going to start to spike back up towards 350, 360. Um, I'm still in my position. As you can see, I'm still holding short from an average cost of, $4.88. The target on this is going to be 297. All right, let's see. Man, I feel like Alibaba's really trying hard to reverse here. Let's see. I don't have a long-term price target on a PROG. I have to see how it reacts to give a target. But yeah, I've no long-term target on this stock. We got to see how it reacts towards 290, 297. I mean, the trend has definitely started to reverse. Like, if you guys see how this, ever since this really became like, you know, you could say like a meme stock, if you just look at its overall trend, it really has been breaking down. Typically it bottoms. Typically it bottoms like 4 to 6 days after it has its first red day. And this is just not the case. It's still going down. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, it looks really weak. I mean, PROG stock. This looks very very weak. I mean, just looking how it reacted last week when it had these quick pullbacks, it would recover fairly quickly. Um, but yeah, it's just not the same anymore. It looks really dry. It looks like it's really lost a lot of, volume and momentum. I'm not gonna touch this. I'm not gonna trade ADGI. This one's all over the place. Man, guys, mRNA has been on a tear from 220s to 370s in like a week. I should have been all over this one. If you guys followed the channel, I was waiting to buy towards this gap fill. I told you guys it's going to 260 when this was in the 400s. But yeah, I should have been all over this one. I was considering buying it, but I didn't pull the trigger on this one. All right, let's see. Let's see. So Alibaba's starting to have a reversal. All right, guys, I'll be back in 1 second. Yes, so I'm gonna be posting another video on PROG today. I see a lot of questions being asked on that. So as for Alibaba, guys, I would say, we're looking at a green light. It looks like this is really gonna try to close strong today. So it looks like the swing trade that I'm gonna be getting in from the top three stocks is going to be Alibaba. And then I'm still looking for an entry on BBIG. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. So, guys, I think Alibaba is going to be a good swing. Um, let's see. All right, so yeah, Alibaba is going to be the play. I just bought some shares. We'll go over options here in a second. So for PTPI, I mean, it's looking more bullish than bearish. I just don't like the daily chart on this particular stock. It's not known for being a multi-day runner, like it has previously had a nice run, and it's not really known for holding up at these key levels. I would just stay away from this one. It looks like a choppy mess, and overall, it looks like it wants to go down, but I think it's too risky to short as well. I think it's going to be a tough trade either way. Whether you go long or short, I think it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, I'm currently long on Alibaba. I just got in here at the 132 range. I did not get the options yet. In terms of the options that I'm looking at, I mean, I definitely want to give myself some time. So let's see. I don't want to go. I don't really want to go out of the money. Um, so yeah, probably like December 17th. December 17th on Alibaba. Um, December 17th would be the expiration. And for strike, probably like the 134 strike. That's what I'm looking at. So yeah, those are the ones that I like. 134 strike, December 17th. I'm not in on the calls yet, but I did buy the shares. So yeah, that's gonna be the one I'm keeping a close eye on. The swings I'm keeping a close eye on for are gonna be Alibaba and BBIG. BBIG starting to bounce back here, along with PROG. So yeah, I mean we'll see. Right now I'm just in on shares for Alibaba. That's like I'm swinging this. So are there any other stocks you guys want me to take a look at? Like I said, I'm mainly just focused on my upcoming swings and my current position on, PRG stock. Wish stock. Yeah, I mean for Wish, maybe like wait for like maybe wait for like $1. I mean, if it drops to $1, I would consider buying some. But yeah, I mean, I would stay away from Wish. Let's see. Oh my God, that's oh man. I feel like a lot of these people got like stuck in these positions. I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people got stuck bag holding these, thinking they were gonna be like the next big thing or something. Just like PROG. So for DATS, I mean, we could see how it reacts in the lower threes. But yeah, man, I wouldn't touch these, man. These are extremely bearish charts you guys are giving me. And they're not ideal to short because there's no volume and they're at oversold levels. I like shorting, towards the top. I like top ticking, like PROG. But yeah, I would definitely stay away from those DATs and Wish. I would stay away from those. Yeah, PTPI. Yeah, stay away from this one, guys. This is a chase. Don't buy into this. Stay away from this one. It's not safe to buy. It's extremely overbought. Yeah, so for SPY, so SPY did have some recovery. Let's see. So for SPY, we gotta see how this reacts. If this can close above like 464, then we should see like 469. I think it's gonna trade a little sideways. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I gotta wait for specific reactions on this one. GM. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, I mean, so these are all kind of following SPY. Um, I'm on the sidelines right now. I gotta wait for it to hit the key levels. So for SPY, I'd be really interested in seeing how this reacts at 469. 469 is where I'd be interested in seeing how it reacts, and then also 459. So until then, I'm kind of on the sidelines until it hits one of those zones. So your support is there, your resistance is there. But yeah, till then, I'm really not interested in doing anything with it. So yeah, we just gotta wait this one out. All right, so ATER. Yeah, from a technical view, I don't see really any reason to buy this one. You guys know I told you the last time was 570 and then I bought it and it went to, it went from, excuse me, the level was 670 and then I bought it and it went to 580s and then I told you guys I'm still holding through and then it had its reversal and it went to 831 and I sold it at like $8. Um, the day before it gapped. So like on this day, the day before, it actually went to 8.5 hours, and then that's where I sold it in after hours on 11.8, not on 11.9. But I basically top ticked that sell. But from a technical view, there's no reason to be buying this. So like I'm just not interested in it. There's no gaps that are really waiting to fill below anytime soon. So like I said, BBIG is going to be the next one that I'm really focused on. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even have ATR on your watch list. There's really nothing to it. STRNKAVL. PDD. Affirm. Yeah, I mean, Affirm. I just don't like its price action. I don't like the way it trades. So for this one, I wouldn't even watch it. If anything, I would consider buying it, just not at the current levels. So like I'll set some alerts. I'll set one for this gap and I'll set one for the other gap. Um, but yeah, this is just something I'm not interested in. I don't like the way it moves. It does look like the bears have taken control of the trend though. It does look bearish overall. A potential shorting opportunity could be if it goes to 151. I just don't like the way this stock moves. It's pretty choppy, pretty sideways. If not that, then it's shooting straight up. I just don't like this one. So yeah. Okay, so PDD, let's see. All right, so I'm not seeing the gap you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the one that's at 82. Yeah, I'm not seeing enough of a bullish confirmation to be buying this one. I would avoid it. This could go to low 60s. So MRK. All right, let's see, let's see. Yeah, we could see how this one reacts once it gets to 75.11. This could be a good one. So thanks for alerting that. I'll set my price alert. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, looking at its chart, this has some potential. You know, you have a very solid, strong support channel in your lower 70s. And then you have multiple gaps that are waiting to fill above. The stock, for the most part, is, you know, consistently pushing for nearly new 52-week highs. Um, so yeah, this could be good. I like this one. So yeah, I'm gonna add that one to the watch list. Thanks for alerting that. But yeah, guys, Alibaba is gonna be the play. I still haven't gotten any options. I'm just in the shares, but I think this is gonna be a good one. So yeah, MRK. I'm gonna add that to the watch list. We'll see towards power hour. That could be a potential swing. So as for Alibaba, let's see, let's see. So we're now at 133 almost. Yeah, man, this, oh my gosh, this chart looks good. This is a really good pattern here. Yeah, I mean, I think we really, I think that's a great chance that we've bottomed out for like the short term. It's been multiple days where this is traded at 131 and it's been spiking back every single time. I think it's a good sign. I mean, worst case scenario, we go to 125. I really couldn't imagine this going lower than 125. I don't see it happening. But man, just looking at this chart, man, we are having so much strong support, guys. Just look at the wicks. Like right now, this is on track to go from red to green, and this was all the way down to like 130 today. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a great swing. Should I buy Crow? Oh, you're talking about crypto. You're talking about Crow coin. Yeah, I mean, I think for the long term, um, so someone asked about crypto.com. I think for the long term, it's going to be like the real deal. I could easily see this going to like, you know, $2, $3 even higher. But I would look at, for me at least, like in terms of crypto, I would look at it as like a long term point of view. I would not look at this as like a short to midterm type of trade. I would look at this as something where, like, you know, whatever you put in, you're not taking it out anytime soon. Like, you're holding this for over 5 years plus to a decade plus. I mean, I would look at it as something where, like, you never really sell it because you're in at such a good price. And for the long term, it just gradually goes up. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to do well in the long term. I think the major cryptos will do well in the long term. So I think it's a good buy. At the current price, though, I mean, I would wait a little bit. I would wait a little bit. If you want to start taking like a small position, that's fine. I would slowly scale into it because, it wasn't too long ago this was at like 10 cents, right? And it recently hit nearly $1 a share. So you don't just want to buy into something that's up 1,000% like that. Typically they'll, retrace back and see a crash of like 20 to 50%. So I would just kind of like scale into it slowly. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to do very, very well for the long term. I was reading an article, they were talking about how like, the boomers, it's getting to a point where the wealth is going to transition into like Gen Z and the younger generation. And where are they going to put the money that they receive? They're going to put it in stocks and crypto, right? And the boomers, they're not putting their money in crypto. So there's going to be like a big wealth, transition that's really going to boost the market caps on the major cryptocurrencies. So for the long term, it's like a really big deal because there's going to be a lot of wealth that transfers, you know, from the boomers to Gen Z, and then Gen Z is going to put it into NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and stocks. Um, More speculative investments. So like it's going to be a big deal for the long term because you're going to see like the market caps increase for a lot of these as time goes on, as it's like more accepted and more well known. So yeah, that'll be cool. So I think all these are going to be great long term plays. I would be very, very careful, buying something that just went up like 1,000% in a couple months. So for BBBIG, I'm waiting for a confirmation. So like, the gap still hasn't been filled yet. The gap's at 293. It still hasn't filled yet. However, BBIG has shown multiple times where it partially fills the gap and has a reversal. But you do have to keep in mind the volume is still a little faded. That's because it's oversold. Typically, when you see gapping down and stocks are at oversold levels, typically the volume has faded a bit. And, there's not much of a bullish confirmation to get in just yet. Do I think it's a great deal to get in? Yes, but in terms of timing, I would wait a little bit. But I don't think you can go wrong with these levels. If you wanted to take like a starting position, it's just with options, I'm very, very meticulous, when I enter my trades, in terms of like timing them and stuff like that. But yeah, BBIG, the options that I'm planning to buy are going to be, it looks like April 14th. And I'm most likely going to be staying in the money. So like $3 strike, maybe slightly out of the money at 350. But the option chain that I like is the April 14th. I think that's going to be enough time, and they're fairly cheap. So those should do well. It's just I need a confirmation. I haven't gotten confirmation yet. So as for AUR, we did touch, 12, but it's reacting as resistance. So it's not going to be a buy yet. Okay, let's see. So yeah, Omar, I'm still in on OMER. I'm still long on this one. I think for the long term, this is going to do well. History has shown, if you go back throughout its all time chart history, you have a very solid foundational price channel where this bottoms out in your $7 to $8 range, and then it's known for shooting back up, um, to your lower 20s, and then you have multiple gaps to fill, one at 1370 and one at 1690. I think for the long term it will do well. For the short term, it really needs to hold above this gap close level at 725. If it continues to hold above the level, we'll be heading back to 780. But that's like a long term play along with, CALA. People have been asking me about CALA. So like for this one, if you want to play it safe, the most I would risk is like 80 cents. There's a gap to fill right here at 83 cents. We got to see how it reacts towards that level. but it did go to 130. Um, so GPS, let's see, GPS. Yeah, I mean, I really don't like the chart on this one. It's been on a downtrend since May. I'm not seeing anything in this one. I would hold off on it. I would wait for like lower gap fill levels. The PROG short squeeze potential is dead. Retail will soon run away from it. I mean, yeah, that's typically what happens. Like a lot of people hype these up trying to be a hero when they're at their like key major resistance levels, thinking it's going to be a breakout. And then when they crash 30 to 50%, people sway away from them and nobody really talks about them. So, I mean, yeah, I've seen it happen quite a bit. I mean, just looking at the daily chart, it looks like in terms of what has happened from like a chart point of view, I mean, this looks kind of similar. It looks like we've gotten something like this where it has its run up, it has its pullbacks, and then it just dies off. I mean, that could be the top. It really could. Like, I won't be surprised if 620 is like the top, the absolute top for the stock. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Um, but yeah, I think we're headed to 297, and then we got to see how it reacts to 297. The volume has been fading though quite some time, and it typically doesn't go down this many days in a row. Like it usually bottoms like fairly quickly. Like this day from the peak, it took 2 days for this to bottom out. This day from the peak, it took like a day for it to bottom out. This day from the peak, it took 2 days. This day from its peak, it took 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I mean, it typically doesn't take that long for the stock to bottom out once it sees its short-term peak. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just not good signs right now for the short term being. You had so much major resistance right here in the fours. And now it used to react as support for such a short period of time. Now it's reacting as resistance. So like in terms of like a break of trend, you're really starting to see that. Like right here, you have major resistance. The stock pulls back, it shoots back up, it turns major resistance into support, it breaks out. Right here, you have major resistance, these two red lines, it breaks out, it pulls back, it turns it into support. Right here, you have major resistance, it breaks out, turns it into support, explodes back up. Now you're starting to see this major resistance. It had a massive breakout. Now it's reacting as resistance. It's just not a good sign. But yeah, this is if you look at the 5 day chart, this is like I mean it's pretty pathetic on how bearish this is. I'm truly in shock if people are like still saying this is like bullish for the short term. Like just look at your heavy support and look at where your wicks are, and you guys remember that key 347 level that I told you about. I mean, now it's reacting as resistance. That's like your key heavy support, foundational support level. Like it wasn't too long ago where you had a bunch of buyers showing up right here when this crashed to, 345 and it shot up all the way to 480 just late last week. Now just look at how it's reacted. It's completely died off. Like your volume has faded. It's reacted as a resistance. Like it looks really bearish. Like it's not a go. I don't see how people could be hyping this up in terms of like how bearish we're looking at. So Alibaba, we're still holding some support here at 132. So yeah, it looks like BBIG is really following PROG stock. That's what it seems like. I think KRYS is done for the most part. Um, yeah, I mean exactly. It squeezed for like a month. I mean that's another thing I don't understand. Like people say it didn't squeeze. It's like Stock went from like 1 to 6 in a couple months. Like, is that not a squeeze? Like, that's I don't understand. Like with AMC, like people said like it didn't have a squeeze. It's like AMC went from like 2 to 72. Like, is that not a squeeze? Like, is this insane? Like having volume of 705 million in volume of like, was this not a squeeze? Where this went from, I called this out to a T. You guys should go back. One of the first videos on my channel was about AMC, and I called it exactly, like perfectly to the T. I literally said like when it was at 30, like this is going straight to 70s, and the next day it did that exact thing. But yeah, like with this one, like is this not a squeeze? Like the volume was at 766 million. I mean, people who actually think this is going to go to 70, I don't see this going above $70 like ever again. I think it's peaked. Like there's just, I don't see it happening at all. PTPI 360s, BBIG. Yeah, I think Alibaba's the play for sure. But yeah, guys, let me know any swing trades you're in. Um, Also, let me know if there's any short squeezes that are being hyped up. I'm really interested in shorting. You know, when everybody finds out about them, that's where I start to show some interest in potentially shorting them. You just got to wait for the confirmations, and those confirmations with those gap levels, like I've been showing you. I mean, just look at how well the strategy worked with PROG stock in terms of like your entries, right? Like in terms of your entries, the stock gaps up, it fills the gap, it cracks, it gaps down, it reacts as a resistance for 2 days in a row, confirmation that, you know, it's having a gap close reversal. It fills the gap, it has a reversal, and then it goes back down. And then it's doing the exact same thing you're seeing now. You know, like right now, we have that gap to fill at 375. This went all the way down to 340s. It closed that gap that we talked about on the daily chart. Remember that gap at $3.47? This stock bottomed twice at that gap close reversal level. Twice. The first time it went from 345 to 470. The second time it formed lower highs, which was another good opportunity to short. You know, it gapped down. It closed this gap at 375, turns it into a resistance level, and now it's, you know, bearish. It's having its gap close reversal to now fill the gap that's waiting to fill below at, you know, $2.97. So it's just incredible how well the gap close reversal strategy works, the gap fill strategy. You know, these gaps are telling me exactly where the stock price is heading. Like it's price action. It's nothing else. It's literally telling me, like it's showing me so like right here there's a gap fill level at 480. Stock goes from 480 all the way down to 397 in a gap down. So if it shoots back up and fills this gap and reacts as a resistance level, it's going to have a reversal. And then not only is it going to go back to your 390s, but it's going to start to fill the gap that's waiting to fill right here at 347. And then if 347 reacts as a support level, it shoots back up. If it reacts, once it reacts as a resistance level, it gets crushed. And then it starts to fill the gap at 297. And you could see like right here, so it gaps down. Once it fills the gap, it reacts as a resistance, confirmation to short. And now it's turned that gap fill level at 347 into resistance level, which is where you're really going to start to see this stock get hammered, because that 347 level is your key support level, man. You cannot have that turn into a resistance level. If you have that turn into a resistance level, the stock's going to get demolished. Like there's just no way. Like it's your heavy support level. Like that's literally like your hope. Like this is we're talking about a support level where this goes from 340s all the way to 470s. Like it's your huge upside, it's your floor, it's your key, you know, support level. Now it's turned that into resistance level. It's like that's really, really bearish. And the fact that people don't point that out, it just blows my mind. Like people don't understand how like price action works. So yeah, I mean, this is clearly heading to 287. I would say like in terms of the comments and what I've seen on PROG, the sentiment was at over 90%. I would say like over 90% of the people told me this wasn't going back to like 347. It's not going back to 287. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, Just you got to learn how to read price action. You got to understand how to read charts. Um, but yeah, once we get to that level, I'm gonna start locking in profits. It's probably gonna have a little spike back to like your threes. Once like your 330s, 350 range. Once this hits 287, I'm not really gonna milk this any more than 297. The plan is to get out like there. But yeah, I mean there is a gap to fill right here as well at $2.14. If this turns 297 into resistance, then we're headed to your lower twos. That's like wow, that's like incredible. But yeah, I mean I know when to lock in my profits, so I'll be locking in towards 290s. It's definitely due for some sort of spike, and you do have a gap to fill at $4 a share right here. So yeah, I mean it's definitely due for some sort of spike. So APVO, let's see, is DWAC, is this doing anything? Yeah, I told you, man. Gosh, you guys remember DWAC, man, when this first came out? Everyone's like, yeah, it's a great buy, man. When it was at like the 90s. Yeah, still no reason to buy this. I mean, if we were to compare charts, right? And I showed you guys the comparison when this was at $90. I compared this to Robinhood, and it's literally doing the same exact thing as Robinhood, man. In terms of the chart on DWAC, it's Robinhood. That's what it is. Like DWAC is now Robinhood in terms of its chart. Like just look at this. You had a strong start in the beginning, a massive green day, a massive green day, massive gap up, massive gap up. When I had that first massive gap up, that was officially the all-time high, and it was over. And ever since then, it's been nothing but downhill, right? So I mean, DWAC is basically Robinhood right now. At this point, I would do nothing with this one. It's more than just buying a stock once it fills an oversold gap. You have to use a certain bullish confirmation. There's more to it in terms of the strategy. And I'm just not seeing a reason to get in. It's funny, people are like, yeah, I mean, you can buy it and it'll go up if Trump talks about it, he'll pump it, and like that's why you're buying a stock in hopes of like someone talking about it. Like that just I just don't see the logic in that. Like you're hoping for someone to talk about a stock, and like meanwhile it's getting absolutely demolished. Like what they're gonna talk about it and it goes up a little, like just doesn't make sense. I don't understand what kind of confirmation that is. Like so Alibaba 132.20s. See ADSK. So we got some support towards. Ooh, you have a gap fill right here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna add this one to my watch list. Um, Thank you for alerting this one. This could be a good one. So yeah, ADSK. I'm gonna add this on the watch list. So we have a gap fill level at 253. The stock has shown very strong signs of support. They want to gap down. Now it's forming higher support, consolidating. Um, So yeah, if this continues to consolidate, we should see a rip back up towards your 260 range for the short term. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. Key gap fill level, heavy support. It's known for filling the gaps right here. It recently had a nice gap down, shot back up and filled it. Um, and this stock, it tends to fill gaps fairly quickly, and it's consistently pushing for, new all-time highs. So yeah, that's a great pattern. ADSK, that's going to be a top watch. So thank you for alerting that one. Let's see. So I mean, in terms of the two stocks that I'm really added on my radar today was ADSK and MRK. Those are going to be two stocks that I'm keeping a very close eye on with the same pattern. Looking for entries on those as well, along with BBIG. So we have some good opportunities. We just have to wait for some good confirmations. Man, if mRNA can get to around $400, that's where I would really like to get a put option on this. If we can fill this gap at $408, Um, let's see, did the one from 384 fill? Oh wow, the one from 384 didn't fill as well. But with this one, I would go with the whole number. If mRNA can go to $400 quickly, man, I'd be really interested in buying a put on this. But yeah, for this one, within time, I'm not missing out next time. Um, I'm buying this one. I'm taking a good size towards 250s, 250s to 240s. I want to buy this back. So within time, it's going to hit those levels, and then there's going to be great opportunities to short and great opportunities to buy. So the short zone would be 400. The buy zone would be 250s. That's for mRNA. Those are going to be some great call options. I mean, this option chain has been explosive. Just look at, let's see how the short term options have, performed. Let's take a look at like December 17th. Let's take a look at like your 360s. I mean, yeah, if you were to go far, this is like crazy, guys. This is when the stock was at, like, this it's unbelievable what you can do with options. Like, just look at this. The stock price was at like 220s. Okay, so right here was the all-time low on these contracts, and the volume was insane. That's, something's about to happen when the volume gets crazy. And I saw like the volume was starting to get crazy on BBIG. Like, something's definitely gonna be happening with BBIG. But anyways, like the volume was starting to get crazy on November 17th. Also, on November 5th. So November 5th and November 17th. So right here, November 5th, the exact day it bottomed, people were buying these up like crazy. And then November 17th, right before this took off, man, this thing, it went from 30 cents all the way to $39 in 1 week. Like, can you imagine buying the stock at 30 cents and then selling it at $39 in a single week? Like, it's just crazy what you could have done with options on these. Like, we're talking about 100x return in one single week. And you had time on them. It was a December 17th contract. So, like, you had a whole month, almost a whole month. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, those contracts, like a 10,000% return in 1 week. Like, man, $3 into 4,000. Like, it's just crazy, man. Stock went from 220 to 380. So the stock went up like what, 70%? And these contracts went up 10,000%. So yeah, I mean, that's mRNA. It's absolutely insane. Okay, so MRAM, MRAM, yeah, I mean, it's really not my type of chart. I wouldn't do anything with this. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on DraftKings. It's just there's not much of a confirmation yet, but soon enough. I have a list. Let me go over my list of stocks. I have a list of stocks that are extremely oversold. If you guys want to add these on. Okay, so let's see. We have so Space. I've been waiting to buy Space. Still no confirmation. But Space should do well for the long term. Some leap options on these. So SPCE, that would be one oversold stock to add on your radar. Also have so we went over BBIG, went over Alibaba, Snapchat, Pinterest. These are two more I would add on your radar. Again, no confirmations though. Let's see. SCKT. I think for the long term, this will go back to like $9 a share. I think this would be a good gap fill play. Soon enough, the bottom is there. Um, best entry would be your lower threes. SCKT, I would keep that on your radar for the long term. Um, Upstart, BYND. Yeah, so Upstart is due for some sort of reversal. I'm waiting towards 135 possibly. Actually, we gotta see 180. Yeah, 180. We gotta see 180s. Man, I told you guys you gotta watch out for those keyhole round numbers. The stock tops out exactly at 400, drops 50%. Same with mRNA. mRNA 497 tops out at 500, drops 50%. Gotta keep an eye on those keyhole round numbers for these stocks that have had massive moves. Let's see. OCGN, Visa V. Oh, ADSK is now. Let's see. Okay, we're still chill. Yeah, ADSK, man. I'm ADSK. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one. Um, BKKT. Yeah, I told you guys for this one, wait for 9:15. Give it time, it'll get there. Wait for 9:15. So wait for your lower nines on BKKT. So APVO. Yeah, I would wait for 670. It could be good towards 670s. The chart is it's all right. The chart's all right. All right, so guys, any other stocks you guys want me to review, and then I'm gonna be heading out here. So let me know any last stocks you guys want me to take a look at. It could be a day trade, it could be a swing trade. Let me know what is it you're looking at. Let's see. So for Ader, I would just remove it from your watch list. As for Kayla, it needs to hold above 83 cents. That is key. Kayla really needs to stay above that 82 to 83 cents. I wouldn't risk more than 80 cents, you know. So I'll have to see. I think for the long term it'll do well. But I wouldn't risk more than a new all-time low. I mean, that's for sure. It did have its run up. It's very unfortunate. We saw the catalyst, we saw the pattern, and it did have a little run up where at one point, I was up a little bit over 35%, like right here in the pre-market. This was the date of the conference. It went to 130, but then it quickly lost its gains. So yeah, for the short term, that's not a good sign. So the next options play, I think BBIG is going to be the next options play. That's where I see it. And then Alibaba as well. Those are like my two favorite for options right now. I don't have options in any of them. I have shares in Alibaba because it's such a good deal in my opinion. But with options, I really try my best to like time it perfectly and get the best entry because they're so volatile in that sense. That's why I haven't bought the options yet. I need like a really strong confirmation. But for shares, I don't mind buying shares a little bit earlier on certain stocks. They're such good deals. All right, so let's see. I'm not sure what stock you're talking about. So you said you put a lot of cash into January and February calls. Would you advise an exit strategy, or should I just hold? If you can mention the stock you're referring to, I can help you out on that. Oh, DraftKings. So let's see. I mean, this chart is tough. I mean, the good news is for the most part, it's been pushing for new all-time highs, and you do have a gap to fill here at 60. Um, it does lack some history though. I mean, for the most part, for the long term, I see this going back up. But as of now, it looks like we're on track to go to $30 a share. So you have this gap to fill at $30. We'll see how it reacts towards that level. You know, if it reacts strong, then that could be a good sign of a nice reversal coming. But yeah, for the short term, I think within time we'll head to $30 before having any sort of reversal. Your key support is going to be towards, yeah, like your $30 share mark. You do have some support towards 35, but that's just not looking good right now. It looks like it's really going to try to fill that gap. So yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on it. I would say $30 for now, and then we got to see how it reacts. If it reacts good, then we could be heading back up to the 40s. Um, if not, then $28 would be the next level. I don't see any reason to get in right now. Um, all right, so CLOV. I mean, from a technical view, I don't have much of an opinion on this one. I don't think it's going to be some sort of great gap fill play where this fills the gaps over time. I think this one's a lot more riskier. I would just avoid it for now. At some point, they're going to pump it again. And in terms of how high that pump can go, I would say like 650. You know, I wouldn't go too high and say like 750 or 8. I would say like 650. But for the short term, I don't see any reason to get in on this one. Same with Wish. What was that other one? SDC. People ask me a lot about this one, Smile Direct Club. Yeah, I mean, just looking at their charts and patterns, I'm just not really seeing any reasons to get in on these ones just yet. ALTO, ALTO. I mean, the chart is okay. It's not the best. Really needs to stay above your 450s to 470s. It's not my type of chart though. It's not my type of opportunity I would like to buy into. So yeah, I mean, for BBIG, I went over some of the basics in my previous video, so I would definitely check that one out. But for this one, I'm looking for a reversal. I'm looking for a reversal at around 293 towards this gap fill level, right, with huge upside potential. I'm looking for a reversal around 290s, and the first price target is going to be 391. There's a gap to fill 391. Over time, I easily see this going back to $4 a share. Now, if that reacts as a resistance level, I'm locking in profits, because if that reacts as a resistance, it's heading back to my initial entry, and I'm not giving away profits in hopes to make more. So yeah, that would be the plan on that one. You know, playing it similar way I played a Sava. You guys remember I recently made the video about Sava when it was right here at 50 $55 a share. I got in at 54.88, and then on this day it filled the gap, and you know it reacted bearish. So I sold it at like 58 something. That was alerted on the community tab, and now it's back, you know, nearly at my initial entry, and it looks like it's gonna go a little lower. So you gotta understand how to lock in profits. People they don't know that. They don't do that. They don't when they see a stock fill the gap, they don't lock in profits. It's like the biggest mistake you can make. Like like for PROG. You know, we talked about like several times for this one. Like when you see these gap fills happen, you gotta lock in profits if they react against you. Like this one we talked about the gap fill level at 488, and you know I told people like don't celebrate too early, don't get too excited just because this went above it. Like it needs to react to support, and it failed to do that. It cracked into your last hour and it went to 460s, which is very, very bearish. So once you see those gap fill levels react as resistance, that's your time to sell and time to lock in profits. Jamia, man, I remember people were hyping this up on a lot, like the Amazon in Africa, they were saying when this was at like $70 a share. I mean, just looking at its chart, I really don't see any reason to get in right now. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much of. It's been on a downtrend for quite some time. Emrin. So yeah, Emrin is at a gap fill level. So we have a gap here at 569. We have another gap at 506. This was a gap right here. Key support right here. For Emrin, I would wait till like 480. Wait till like 480, and then that could be a good time to buy it. So yeah, 480s for a pop back to 570. That could be a decent one. See how there was a gap to fill right here at 569. The day it fills the gap, it explodes up. So that was pretty crazy. But yeah, Emrin, I've followed this one. This one's pretty good for gap fills. So yeah, I would wait towards like 480s. LGVN, man, what did this one do? I'm guessing it crashed. I haven't looked at it yet. I remember the chart from Friday. I bet it crashed. Let's see. Oh wow, it's still holding up. So this is currently up 8%. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're heading to $43. This actually looks good. You know, you have major resistance right here at 33. It went from 33 to 22, so it dropped like 10 points. Now that's reacting as support, you know. So if it tops out at 33 and it goes to 22 quickly, what's going to happen when 33 reacts as a support level? It's going to spike 10 points instead of dropping 10 points. The inverse is going to happen, and you have a gap to fill at $42. So this one's actually decent. That's actually a decent alert. Swing trading it definitely a little bit more on the riskier side. You know, as this was it wasn't too long ago. This was at $3. Um, but let's see. Okay, you got key resistance 28, 28, and your 30s, 28 in your 30s. I think we're heading to 42. That's where I think we're heading. Unfortunately, there's no options. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep a close eye on this. I just don't like how it's just so overbought for the short term in terms of like swing trading this. That's what I dislike about it. But other than that, the chart looks really bullish. I would be shocked if this doesn't go back to $40. So LGVN, that's gonna be another one for a short term trade. Ooh, ADSK is starting to go up a little bit. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one a lot. I just don't like how it's extremely overbought. But in terms of like 5-day chart analysis, I love the 5-day chart. I mean, just look at these 5-minute candles coming in, these strong wicks at key heavy resistance. It's a really good sign for the stock to push back up into your 40s. So yeah, I mean, I think this will do well. The most I would risk on this one would be 28.50. 28.50 would be the max risk on this. It really needs to stay above 30. But yeah, I like this one a lot. Looks good for a gap fill to 42. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. LSPC, ISPC. Okay, so this one looks like it got. Did this get halted? It looks like it did. Yeah. Okay, so this got halted. Let's see. It's a crazy one. Yeah, I would definitely avoid this one. I would not buy into this. This is probably going to get crushed. So ISPC is ripping. Let's see. Man, we need more option plays. Yeah, I would not buy into this one, guys. I think it's gonna head back down. We'll see if this for this to rocket like right now in the next couple minutes, it needs to turn 27 into support. If it can do that, then you can go to like 32 to $35 a share. It needs to turn if it can hold 27, this is about to rip. So we'll see how it reacts towards that level. If not, then you're going back to 22. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, so it's breaking down, guys. So yeah, it's a short. That would be a short. I would not buy into this from here. Um, LGVN. Let's see how we are reacting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. Okay, so AUR is now back above 12. Let's see. Man, okay, guys, AUR is setting up for a swing. If this holds 12s and we get that nice green candle coming in, that's setting up for a swing. So two stocks I'm going to keep a close eye on for today are going to be ADSK, AUR, LVGN, excuse me, LGVN. Yeah, those are going to be close ones. BBIG. Okay, so here, so this is like my short-term watch list here. So let's see. So LGVN, we're gonna add that on. What else do we have? We have ADSK. It's gonna be another one, and MRK. So these are gonna be my top watches for now. These seven stocks: ADSK, AUR, BABA, BBIG, BIDU, LGVN, MRK. But yeah, this is looking nice here. This is starting to really look nice here. All right, let's see. But yeah, towards I'll typically make my swing trades around power hour because I like to wait for the 1 day candles to really shape themselves. So towards power hour, I can definitely see myself making a swing trade. But guys, right now, AUR AUR looks fantastic right now. I mean, it's been doing such a good job of holding this range of 1150s, and now we're attempting to get a breakout here. Guys, give me one moment. I gotta take this. Okay, never mind. Thought it was something else. Um, those BBIG premiums are looking good. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Workhorse. Okay, so check out Zoom. Yeah, I'm gonna add Zoom as well. Zoom actually, this looks okay. Yeah, Zoom looks okay here. I could see this going back to like 240s. So yeah, Zoom has some potential. Um, all right, so guys, I'm in on. I just bought AUR stock. So yeah, I decided to pull the trigger on that. So the moves I made today was buying. So I just bought AUR, and I bought Alibaba earlier in the 132 range. So yeah, I'm gonna hold these out. These are gonna be swing trades. Yeah, I mean, I think it should like shoot back up. Like it looks like it bottomed out. You know, your key heavy the resistance, your bottom wicks, your bullish pins, and you have multiple gaps to fill above. Like to me, this looks good. So yeah, in terms of the top three stocks to buy, I bought two of them so far. I still didn't get in on BBIG yet, and I don't have options on Alibaba yet. I just have shares on that. All right, so BFRC. Let's see. Let's see. BFRC. That is not a symbol. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Hey Safe is hitting an all-time low. PSFE. Let's see. Let's see. PSFE. PSFE. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really seeing not really seeing any reason to really buy this one. The chart is pretty horrific. See, are people buying the options? Wow, people are actually buying these. Um, $4 strike is being picked up. I mean, yeah, I could see why. Like, I could see the yellow in it. They're so cheap. Um, I'll add it to the watch list just because like they're so cheap. But it's just I don't think I'll be doing anything with that. Up 20% on AUR calls. Shout out to Harry. Harry, what is up, man? We're gonna be launching the chat room. We're gonna be launching Trader Society very, very soon. I think the official launch is going to be as early as like the end of the week. I think we're gonna let people in before we officially, start trading live on next Monday. So yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah, the launch is going to be the end of this week for sure. Yeah, guys, AUR is the play. I mean, let's take a look at the option chain. Let's see. All right, so for AUR, let's take a quick look here at the options. So this would be like a short-term play. Let's see, let's see. Okay, so there's not too many option chains. Let's see where the volume's at. Okay, so it seems like all the volume is in the short-term ones and in the long-term ones. So let me quickly compare the two. Let's look at the 1250 strike, which is basically at the money. 265. Now let's see the 1250 strike here, 80 cents. So yeah, I mean, for this one, what I would do is I would look into getting the 12.5 strike with December 17th expiration. If this is something where you really wanted to kind of hold out and see how it does for the longer term, then I would look into the 12.5 strike at March 18th. So yeah, those are the ones that I like. So the key to this play is this is the main key, guys. This is when the stock is really going to start to blow up. Once you see the high of this candle right here, 1248, we'll round it up to 1250. When 1250 breaks out and reacts as a strong support level, that's when you're really going to see this stock start to explode. So I want you to think of 1250 as your key breakout level for some nice upside potential to your let's see, we could say to your 1350 range to 14s around there. But yeah, I mean the stock it's shown true strength in that channel, and I mean it has history of where this can spike very, very big. I mean, just looking, this chart looks perfect. I mean, just look at this chart. Like, this is my type of chart. This is exactly what I like to see. Where stock, has a massive gap up, then it gaps down, making gap down multiple times. And then once it fills that gap right there, that gap fill level we talked about at 1130, once it fills that gap, it forms a very nice support channel. It holds, it consolidates, it forms bottom wicks, it forms bullish candles for multiple days, then it starts to climb back up. That's exactly what I like to see. So yeah, that's my type of pattern. That's my type of play right there, where you have huge upside potential, huge gap up, and then the stock gaps down. It quickly goes back. You want it to quickly go back. Otherwise, if it doesn't quickly go back to the gap fill level, it's going to be dry. The volume is going to be lost. It's going to lose its momentum. It's going to lose its attention. So then you have to wait for a special confirmation, like I'm waiting for on BBIG. Like the problem with BBIG right now is, you're not seeing much of a bullish confirmation. The volume is dry. It's because it's been gapping down for quite some time. It's been downtrending since October. But yeah, I think AUR should do well. This looks good. LGVN. Okay, so we're at 30. Not liking this candle now. So yeah, if that candle remains like that, that's not going to be a swing trade. All right, what's the deal with PROG stock? What's the deal? What's the deal with PROG? What's the deal here? Let's see. Yeah, so we're choppy. We're really choppy right now. Still below the key level. Bought 5K in AUR calls. So I mean the goal is to really close above. I mean the goal is to close green. We want to close green. That's like the main goal. For the bulls to really, show some true strength, I would be happy if we closed above. Let's see. If we can close above like 1210, around 1210, I'd be happy with that. This will really, it should start moving once we break out past 1250, but it's got to turn into a strong support level. That's key. But I mean, I like this five. So just looking at the 5-day channel. So just looking at your channel here, it bottomed at 1140. It went to 1248. And then it put in some higher support at 1150s. Some lower highs there. Bottomed at 1140 again. So its overall key foundational support is at like 1150s, you could say. Past 2 days, so it has formed some higher support. I mean, overall we should be good. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so why isn't this on watch list? ADSK. All right, there we go. Yeah, I was looking at ADSK, man. This has been popping up. This might be another one where I have to get in on. I'm gonna give it some time though. Yeah, ADSK looks good. So shout out who alerted this one. I like this one a lot. This looks nice. Okay, so Alibaba, let's see. So we're still hanging in there. All right, all right. Okay, so Stern, STRN. Okay, 340 to 380. I mean, it looks like we're headed back up to fill this gap at 430s. Um, I would say we're going to 430s. Yeah, I think we're headed back to 430s on this one. So basically, if you're in on this one, I would set your target at 436. And then once it fills this gap, if you see it reacting as a resistance level, you see it's pulling back, you see it showing signs of weakness, like we pointed out on PROG, then I would lock in profits because, this is it pushed for new all time lows recently. It's got huge downside potential from your 430 level. So yeah, I would definitely lock in profits towards 430s. You see it react as a resistance level. It'll be heading back to 340s within no time. But right now, this looks bullish. Um, I'll look to see how it reacts if this can manage to go back to 315. That's where I'll look to see how it reacts. I don't want to chase it. I don't want to play this one. I think there's, better oversold opportunities out there. But yeah, if you're in it, I would hold it. I would hold that one out. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we got some resistance at 1235. Okay, so here's the goal. So, AUR, it's been shooting up very, very nicely from 1160 straight up to 1235, right? Now we're starting to see some resistance at 1235, which is not shocking at all because if you look at the 5-day chart, you can see there's been multiple occurrences where this tops out from 1235 to 1240s and then it quickly drops back to your 1160 to 1140 range, right? So, with that being said, what we really need to see happen is we need to see some strength come in. We need to see some support come in at 12 to 1210. If we can see some support, some nice, support come in towards 12, 1210, some nice volume, some bullish confirmations, it makes it very, very ideal. So we got to see how it reacts now because right now it's having a pullback. So we got to see how it reacts to your key support levels. So that's what I'd be waiting for and looking for on AUR from here. So yeah, we'll see if it can form some higher support. That would be phenomenal. But we'll see. All right, so yeah, I mean Alibaba still looks great. Like I said, I don't have any options, just some shares on this one. But I mean, with options, I think you'll still do fine if you give it some time and stay like in the money. Those should do well. So yeah, we went over Clove. I think it can go back to like 650. I don't see any signs of a bottom right now. I would avoid it. I wouldn't do anything with this one. Okay, so BLZ. Okay, so this was that pattern we were talking about. So thanks for alerting this one. Where a stock has a nice gap up, it rips, and then for the short term, it quickly retraces back to fill that gap. And there's a gap to fill right here at 2204. And there's actually another gap to fill right here at 1990. So this is a little interesting. I'm gonna keep it on the back burner. But thanks for alerting this one. We'll see. I mean, you could see it recently filled this gap right here at 2550. It did have a small bounce to 2650. So we'll see. I mean, I'm most likely gonna wait towards the 1990s. But yeah, I'm gonna add that to the watch list as well. That one has some potential. I don't think it's gonna be anything amazing, but for a nice scalp. All right, so let's see. So how do you get involved in the program? So yeah, the program will be launching by the end of this week, I would turn on push notifications. I would make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll hear about it in an upcoming video where you'll have the opportunity to, join the program. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get ready to wrap up the stream here shortly. So, any last calls, any last stocks you want me to take a look at, I'll gladly do so. All right, so let's see. AMP. Yeah, I mean, I would hold off on this one. I'm not seeing a reason to buy from a technical view. It has turned your key gap fill level into resistance. I think for the midterm, you can go back to 150s, which would be a great place to take profits. But yeah, I mean, overall, the volume is faded. It's choppy. I would avoid this one. GDRX. This is not. It's not my type of chart. It's not my type of pattern. So I won't do anything with this one. So for SNDL, let's see. I would say within some time we're headed back to 74 cents a share. And yeah, I would say we're due for a little spike to 74 cents a share within some time. That's where I would see that one heading. Could still go down a little bit, but I would say it's headed back to 74 cents overall. Okay, so the ask just increased for AUR. I just noticed that. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, things are picking up now. This is good. AUR has attempted to form some higher support here. This is very, oh wow, this is nice. Okay, so yeah, let me show you what it is that I'm looking at. Okay, now we're getting a rejection. Man, the bid and ask is flipping like crazy on this right now. I mean, it is at that key level, so we'll see. But it did attempt so far to form higher support at 1220. So that's good. But still, 1235 is attempted to react as resistance. Okay, so for IRNT, yeah, I mean this one it just died out. I'm not interested in this one. I wouldn't do anything with it. There's no reason to buy it from a technical view anymore. I would just stay away from this one. But yeah, expect some content today, guys. I'm gonna probably post a video about AUR, and then I might post a video about PROG. So I would look out for 1 to 2 videos today. Let's see, LGBN is still hanging in there. Okay, so still. Okay, so it looks like the bulls have spoken, guys. It looks like AUR is really attempting. Wow, this is I mean, just looking at the level 2, there's definitely a battle going on. Taking a look at the level 2 here. Let's see. So your bid is 1228, your ask is 1233. We did get a new high of day at 1239. Let's see if 1230s can hold here. Okay, let's go back to the chart. Yeah, it's still doing a good job of holding up. So to give you an update on current positions, so I'm still short on PROG from 488, and then I'm currently long on AUR at 1229 average. And then in terms of market close, we have market closes in 4 hours and 35 minutes. So yeah, we'll see. But as of now, AUR is, it's showing signs of strength. We just had a new high of day attempt break. Really need this though to hold up. It just needs to maintain 1230s here. That's really important. I would say this isn't the most bullish candlestick either. When you see a doji format resistance, it's not the greatest sign when you see these trend reversal candlesticks format resistance levels. So we'll see. But yeah, if 1220 cracks, I would expect to pull back to about $12 a share. All right, so guys, any last calls? Let's see. So yeah, we went over PTPI. I didn't like it long, and it's too risky to short. I would just stay away from this one. This is one of those crazy ones where anything can really happen. But I would definitely not consider buying it, and I think it's too risky to short it as well. All right, so AUR crack support. All right, so what we need to see, guys, is we really need to see, it's really important that 12 to 1210 turns into support by the closing bell. That would be ideal. Like I had told you, I didn't like these candlesticks. This candle and this candle here at resistance, that's bearish. That's a sign of a trend reversal. Plus, on the 5-day chart, you do have a lot of resistance at 1230s. So from here, all we could really do is, look for higher support. We need to see some sort of support form at 12 to 1210. Okay, wow, guys, oh my gosh, this is gonna be, I think I just found my next swing trade, a Lucid. I'm a little surprised that it held up, but man, if this is this really like 52, 55, this holds up, like this is gonna run. Like I'm talking like new all-time highs type of run within like 1 to 2 weeks. I'm really starting to like Lucid here. Lucid looks like it's really just getting ready to shoot back up towards the 60s. So my top watches, and you could expect some videos today because I see a lot of great content, and a lot of great opportunities. So Lucid is going to be a potential buying opportunity. You have this strong channel here in these key gap fill levels at like 52.50 to $50 a share. It's now reacting as a support, trying to break out. The chart is looking really, really bullish. It went back. It went from 57 to 44.88. It filled this gap, turned it into a support level, exploded back up. Now it's turning this key gap fill level that was reacting into resistance. It's turning into support, and it's forming higher support. You can see right here, this bottom wick is a lot higher than its previous bottom wicks right here. Like Lucid really looks like this is gonna get ready to explode back up to your $58 to $64 range within like 1 to 2 weeks. So I'm really starting to like this setup. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. If it can maintain above 53, I'm going to consider swinging this for sure. So yeah, we'll see. I'm really starting to like the chart on this. Loan on Lucid since the IPO. That's phenomenal. I would not sell that position. I think Lucid is going to be one of those forever hold stocks. I think in 2022 we'll hit $100, and then by 2024 potentially 200 plus. But in the grand scheme of things, like I think this is going to be a $300 stock. Um, yeah, my buddy and I, we got some leap options on these ones, a couple different ones. But January 2024, if that's like the main one I have, I think these are going to do very, very well. And also, it's very rare where you see leap options that expire in 800 days, like over 2 years. It's very rare where you see the volume this high. Like I'm telling you guys, if you want like a long term investment, I would consider buying some leap options on Lucid and some shares. I think it's going to perform very, very well. Like Lucid it's the real deal. So yeah, we'll see for a potential trade on that. But yeah, I got in pretty late. I bought those when it was at like 40. I got in on the leaps when this was at like $45 a share. So I mean, for the long term, I think it's going to be a great entry. Um, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't too long ago. This was at $20 a share. It is what it is, though. Okay, so all right, so Tesla, and Lucid since the IPO, EV's the future, 100%. Yeah, Lucid is looking really good. All right, guys, I think I might have to get in on Lucid here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger on this. Lucid looks good for a swing. So I'm gonna get in on this right here as well. We'll go over the options too. All right, so in terms of the plays that I made today, I'm long on AUR, I'm long on Lucid now, and I'm long on Alibaba. Those are all going to be swing trades. I'm still short on PROG. That I'll be getting out this week. 287. It's either happening this week or next week. I can't hold it until next week though. The borrow fees and overnight fees would just be way too extraordinary, even if it did crash. But yeah, I have a position on Lucid right now. It's nothing too crazy. The mental stop will be around like $51. It's like a starting position. So LAC LAC. Yeah, it's just not my type of pattern. Um all right, so yeah guys, I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. So for AUR, I mean it's still holding up in the 1230s. So that's good. We'll see. Just really want this to stay above 12.10 to $12. So that's going to be a swing, and Alibaba is still going to be a swing, but it does look like we're seeing some resistance at 132.50, so it's going to try to go back to the low of day. Um, you know, like I said, 125 is like the absolute lowest I could see it going. I think Lucid is going to be a good swing as well, and ADSK is going to be on the radar for a buy soon. I'm really starting to like ADSK for a swing trade. ADSK looks really, really nice here. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. BBIG is going to be. Why is this removing? BBIG is on the back burner. Um, so PROG, man, this could get a little ugly today. We'll see. PROG just formed new lower highs at 340, and now it's gonna go back to the low of day. So it looks like PROG is gonna be seeing a new low of day here within some time. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be right now. Wow, caught that live here on stream. Okay, so let's see. And yeah, I mean that's for the most part. Those are the top. So the top stocks right now that I'm, close eyes, and then I told you guys the positions I'm in. But the top ones right now are ADSK, AUR, Alibaba, BBIG, um, and Lucid. Gonna be keeping close eye on all of those. And PRG is still trying to hold up here at 330. Let me take a look at the level 2 on this here. Yeah, Lucid will do well. Lucid will be good. All right, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, be on a lookout for the upcoming launch of Traders Society. That will be, it's expected to launch by the end of this week, so very, very soon. But yeah, guys, I gave you the top plays. I gave you my analysis on the stocks, and keep an eye out for 1 to 2 videos today. There's gonna be some good content coming your way.